Hello my friends, welcome back. How are you? I hope doing okay. Let's see what I'm up to today. I found this little turtle and he's faceted on the top. And he's too stinking cute. And we're going to try to make a mold of him and then cast in him and make something cute. And I have my favorite thing to make molds in, my little plate yogurt dish. And he fits right in there. Look at that. And then I'm going to try this silicone rubber right here from Let's Resin. It's just one of the smaller kits. It's the hardness 15A, and I'm going to give it a go. I believe I've used it before, but I can't remember. You can pause the video right here if you'd like and read a little bit about the product features. And then you have to weigh this silicone. So I have my scales here and 2 cups for part A and B, and then another cup to stir them both in when I put them together. So let's put the cup on here and clear the scales out. Okay, that's 93. So let's put the other cup up here and tear it out and then pour part B. And I always like to tear my scales twice just to make sure they're really cleared out. I don't do it all the time, but mostly when I remember. Okay, I'm going to put my scales away, and then I have a little timer here that we're going to make sure we time how long we're stirring the silicone. It says for 3 minutes. Well, actually, it says 3 to 6 minutes, depending on how much silicone you're stirring. And we have a rather small amount, so I think the 3 minutes are going to be just fine. And when you're doing resin, you pour part B in your cup first. But with silicone, you pour part A first. I'm trying to get all the silicone out of the cup. Now I'm going to put my timer on, and then we're going to get to stirring. My least favorite part. There's no fun in stirring, is it? And I've been having issues with my molds. I don't know what's going on, but they have little bubbles inside of the mold, and every time I cast in it, it goes right into my casting. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I'm stirring for 3 minutes. I'm not stirring too fast. I'm making sure that I weigh it right. I'm just not sure what I'm doing wrong. If anyone has any suggestions, would you drop them in the comment section below? I'm open to suggestions, you guys. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. And every single mold has little tiny bubbles in the bottom where it appears the silicone did not degas enough before it cured. And I'm not saying it's the silicone's fault. But I've got to figure out what's going wrong. And I've tried different silicones. I've used many different silicones of Let's Resin. And the ones I've tried, it's doing the same thing. So I'm just not sure what's going on. Okay, so I'm pouring into the little container here. And I don't think we have quite enough silicone in here. And I take a little stick to kind of judge where it's at, and we're going to need a little bit more. So I stirred up a little bit more, and then we're going to add that to the container. And that's perfect. So now I'm going to cover it, and now Here's the next day. And I love using this dish to make molds in because it's so easy to get my pieces out. I just take this little tool and I get it away from the edge to break that seal on it, and then turn it around and push it out, and it is super easy. And I can use it over and over again. I wonder if the bubbles that I'm getting inside of the molds are from molding glass pieces. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Maybe there's a certain kind of silicone you need to use when you're making a mold of something that's glass. I don't know. I need to do some more research on it so that I can figure it out. But it's not going to matter with this piece right here. If we have any bubbles in there, because of how we're going to use this piece. But it's very annoying for my other pieces. And silicone's not cheap, so I've got to figure out what's going on. And I don't know how people use the little tools that come with these kits to get your piece out of there, because that tool does not work for me. Me and that tool does not get along. So I've tried many different tools to try to get my pieces out, and oh my goodness, I need so much practice on this part, because some of my molds look like Edward Scissorhand got a hold of it. So yeah, I need some more practice on getting my pieces out. But the scissors tend to work the best for me. A small pair of scissors. Okay, now we're going to pull him out and see what we got. Okay, everything looks nice, but I'm seeing some of those little tiny bubbles in there, and I'm going to try to show you one of them. I don't want to stretch the mold out too much because it was just made, and I know it was 24 hours ago, but still I want to be careful with it. But I'm going to try to show you the big one. I don't usually get big ones, but I did on this one. I'm not sure if you can see it. Okay, here's the other mold I'm going to use, and it's faceted as well. And then we're going to use this to put in the turtle. And it's green and gold, and it's material used for nails. When you're doing fingernails, you cut it out, put it over the nail, and then you put a top coat over it. But we're going to see how it will look inside of our turtle here. And then our turtle has little bitty sections in his head for some little eyes. It's really, really tiny though. So I'm going to have to use these little tiny beads for his eyes. And I dropped a little bit of resin down in there. And then we're going to drop these eyes down in there into the little holes. And there they are. I'm going to spray a little alcohol in the mold and then pour some silicone in there. Silicone. I'm sorry. Pour some resin in there. And I see something floating in there, so I just took a little stick and got it out. And now I'm going to go ahead and top the mold off with resin. And I got a little bit too much in there. I wasn't thinking about still having to put the green stuff in there, the green and gold stuff in there. So I'm going to dip a little bit out. And now we're going to go ahead and fill this mold up. Well, it's not going to fill it up. I don't want it filled. But we're going to use Let's Resin alcohol ink in the color blue. And what I'm going to do is, I've never used this before, so I'm going to take a pin and get a hole in it. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put the rest of this resin inside of the other mold. But I don't want to fill it up, because what I'm going to do is the next layer will be clear. And I'm going to add some little baby turtles in there, and then some little shells, and then I'm going to let that set for maybe an hour and a half, and then I'm going to go in behind that with some sand. Okay, I'm going to pour it into the mold. And I think I got that blue too dark. I really do. I don't think I wanted it that dark. But we'll see. And I'm just trying to get the rest of the resin down in there. Okay, now let's go ahead and work on the turtle, putting this green and gold in there. And I'm going to pat it down and make sure it's in there real good. And then I'm going to take the other piece and put it on top to make sure I feel his belly area. And I'm just doing the best I can at matching this up to get it to fit inside of the feet. I had to cut another little piece off to make sure I filled that area up. Okay, now I'm going to take this piece up here to his head. And that looks perfect. I hope this turns out cute. Okay, and I'm going to put this in his little foot up here. My daughter, she does nails. And I buy her little things, you know, little surprises for her nails. And I purchased her some of these, and I thought, I kept some for myself. I said, I wonder if those would look good in resin. So we're going to see. And these might be really cute in the frog molds. So I may try that next. If this looks, you know, cute. I may try putting some of it in a frog next. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. And then his little tail here, it was hard to get a little piece in there, but I think I made it work. Now I have one little piece left here that I cut, so I'm just going to put it in the side over here. And now I'm going to clean up around my mold. And then I'm going to go and put these pieces in the pressure pot. And now I'm ready to demold, and let's see what this looks like. Oh my goodness, that is cute. I should have chose some pieces with a little bit more gold in them though. But it is very, very neat looking. I love that. Okay, I have some resin here, and it's just clear, and I'm going to pour it in the other piece that we done. And I'm going to use my heat gun to pop any bubbles. And now I'm going to go in with these little baby turtles. Dip them in the resin. And then put them in there. And I'm not putting this back in the pressure pot. I'm just going to let this stick around for an hour and a half, and then we'll go in with the next step. Okay, and there's 3 little turtles in there. Now let's drop some shells or a starfish. I'm trying to pick out some of the smaller ones. I'm going to dip it in resin and then put it in here somewhere. And then this is a shell. I'm going to dip it in the resin and then put it in there. And I'm going to get another little shell, dip it in the resin, and put it in there. And then another little shell. Now I'm going to go in here and situate some of it. Place it where I want it. I don't want to put too much in here. Okay, now it's 2 hours later, and I have some resin here in the cup, and I'm adding some sand. And I'm going to go ahead and pour it in. And I'm going to fill the mold up with it. I'm going to use my heat gun in between a few pours. Make sure I pop many bubbles as I can. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and top the mold off. Use my heat gun. Spritz some alcohol. Okay, now we are demolding the piece. I put some oil in there, and I'm gonna roll it in my hand, try to get that oil all through the piece so it'll be easier to get out of here. Okay, I think it's, there we go, it popped out. I'm trying to clean up some of that oil, and here it is. It turned out beautiful, but I got the blue too dark. It was darker than I wanted it to be. I'm trying to clean it up a bit here. And then we're going to place the turtle on it, something like that. And then I have a light here that we're going to put it on. Okay, I'm going to use this Gorilla Glue. And I'm trying to see how I'm going to glue him on here. checking around it, seeing where I want him to go. I want him like that, so I need the glue on this section right here. So I'm going to put him down on there. Right like that. Now our piece is finished. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Let's talk about it in the comment section below, you guys. What do you think of this piece? I'm going to remake it because I want the blue to be lighter than it is. For those of you who stayed through the entire video, I have no words to express how grateful I am to have you here. I truly appreciate your time. I hope to see you in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye, my friends.